Hi, and we're live
Again.
again.
All right. Well, technology is not always our friend. And so we're going to try this again. So we are so excited.
Hopefully there's not an echo.
We had to work through a little bit of echo as well, but so sorry that you guys could only hear Celie. I mean, not sorry that you could hear Celie, but sorry that you could hear the great conversation that we were having because we were talking about the Clark clan and the Marie.
I just thought that I had hacked all this technology today and we were trying to share through multiple avenues, but no, I was wrong.
Didn't quite work out, but that's fine. Now we know it doesn't work. That's just as good a learning experience as anything.
That's right. And at least you got to see our cool backgrounds at the beginning. You just couldn't hear everybody talking about it.
Yeah, because you missed the amazing Clarktastic hashtag that we've put up there.
I think you should talk about it, though, because you did put it by your name, which is pretty awesome.
Well, have to put it by our names. All us Clarks have got to stick together. And I think there's definitely going to be another Clark in the chat because I'm sure Marie's going to join the Clark.
Yay! Marie. I know. Did you come up with it or did Marie come up with it?
I don't know. I think we'd had a few beers that night.
I don't know either. One of us came up with it and it's just Clarktastic. I love it. Yay! They said we have sound now.
We have sound. Amazing.
All right. Well, real quick, we'll do our intro again. My name is Jenny Long.
And I'm Celie Clark.
And we are
Jenallee.
Oh. I don't know if we're doing it right or not. So we are so excited to have Sarah Clark with us here this evening. She is from Scotland, and we just love her to death. And we met her when we were at BET earlier this year. And she is just an amazing educator and has so much great information to share. So we want her to just talk about some of the tools that she's using during distance learning and some of the things that she's been experiencing. And hopefully it's something that you all can take back and add into your teaching as well. So Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go ahead and get started for the however many million times.
We'll need to rush through now because everybody's running 50 minutes late. They'll all be wanting their bed here in the UK, seeing as it's now 10:30. And I'm not in my onesie. It is a jumper. But as you said, my name's Sarah Clark. I'm a biology and science teacher. I teach at Queen Anne High School in Dunfermline and Fife, although I live over the water in Falkirk. And I've been teaching for 20 years now. I know I don't look it. But teaching for 20 years. And I'm one of the MIE experts here in Scotland. There's a really good team of us. And I've been doing that for 5-6 years now. And I'm also Microsoft Fellow for Scotland and a Wakelet Ambassador, and anything that involves technology. I'm usually there saying, oh, what's this? How can I use it?
And if you're not following her, I definitely suggest you follow Sarah on Twitter because she tweets the most amazing things. I mean, I have learned 2 awesome tech things from you within the past, 2 months, I think?
Since we met at BET.
Yeah. Well, first I have to tell this story. So we're at BET and I went to Scotland over New Year's. And it was so much fun. We had a great time. And someone on Twitter kept tweeting me saying, oh, go do this, like giving me all these tips and tricks. And I was like, oh, this is so nice. I love this. So then we get to BET and Sarah's walking beside me and we're chatting. And she's like, yeah, did you have fun in Scotland over New Year's? And I was like, huh? Yeah. And she's like, it was me chatting with you. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, did you think I was a stalker or something? I was like, I don't know. It really creeped me out that you knew where I was.
Yeah, I was saying, oh, and did you have a nice time when you went to Edinburgh Castle? And I saw that you were here and you looked at me like, oh, who is this girl? And I says, I'm the MIE expert from Scotland that was on Twitter. And then you thought, oh, thank goodness for that. That's...
I know.
Really,
I was like,
I could see the panic in your eyes. Oh no, who's this person?
But then I was like,
great night.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my goodness, you have all the best ideas because I love following her and talking to her. But anyway, I've learned 2 big things just since we met at BET in January. First, Sarah, you have to share with everyone how you use Paint 3D and Merge, because it blew my mind and we immediately went into one of our classrooms and started doing it.
So I love the fact that my technology that I use is not for technology's sake. There has to be some kind of learning in it. And I'd seen on Twitter these merge cubes, these augmented reality merge cubes. And I just thought in science, they're just the best thing for giving some kind of context to the learning and making something that's two-dimensional become three-dimensional. And I'm not particularly good at drawing. So when somebody started mentioning Paint 3D, I thought, I can't draw that. I can't draw a cell. And any pupil that's been in my classroom and has seen my drawings on the whiteboard, they will know I'm not an artist at all. So I went on to Paint 3D, searched the library of models that were already there, saved it, uploaded it to the Merge Cube app, and my Merge Cube then became a 3D model for the pupils to hold. So we have the ones we use often. We use a heart one, we use cells, we use cross-section of a leaf. I know one of my other fellow teachers, I don't know if she's managed to join back yet, Laura, she was up for it as well, and she's been using them with her class. And it's so simple to do. It's not a hard...
It really is. We loved it. We went in and built a moon phase model for our students, and then they went and built their own moon phase model, and they're in 4th grade in Paint 3D with the pre-made, pieces of art in it. So it really is amazing. I was pretty blown away at how it became tangible.
And I've noticed Laura has just joined in, Laura Ann there. She says hiya. So she's another member. She's Team MIE Scotland. And I know we've got Dawn's in there as well, and Chris Gerard's there too. So we've got a few of our Scottish friends joining us.
Yay! Chris wants the backgrounds to come back. And I just want to make sure everybody knows my hair is like this for May the 4th. We said it in our last live one, but I don't know if we've said it.
I got my shirt.
Or it's just a new trend that's coming
And as we said, we're just lucky that I brushed my hair today because it's remote learning, so that doesn't always happen.
Well, we wanted to start out through Teams so that we could show the cool backgrounds, but we're having some technical difficulties. So now, at least if you joined us at the beginning, you got to see the cool background. So we love that. And that's the second thing, amongst many, many, many things that Sarah has taught us. But one of the other things that stands out is the backgrounds and how she posted that on Twitter. And I think Cal Armstrong posted that as well. And then you shared that with Slee, and Slee called me. She's like, we gotta do this. This is awesome.
And this is this learning network that we always talk about. And Cal, I was really lucky about 2-3 years ago now. Cal actually came over to Scotland. You two haven't been yet. Cal came over to Scotland and he came and visited our school. And, from then we've kind of built up our relationship where we share things online and we follow each other anyway. But just this idea that there's lots of people online that you can share from and learn from. And I mean, you guys, I said, we need a catch up. And they went, yeah, come and join our live stream. And I thought, okay, that wasn't what I was meaning, but let's go live.
Yeah. No big deal.
We want everyone to learn from you, not just us, but we've had a few times to catch up and talk behind the scenes, but you just have so much knowledge that we just love being able to share it with the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. And that's, I've learned so much from the education, the EdTech community online. And it's where I see my things as well. And if you can pass them out and somebody can pick them up in their lesson, that's the whole point of it. And that's the benefit to all of us.
Yeah.
And at the moment, with remote learning, we're scouring, looking for lesson ideas and lesson plans and everything. So it's definitely coming to its own even more.
And speaking of that, both of our countries right now have MIE expert applications open. So we definitely encourage you, come join the MIE expert family. It really is a global family, not just, United States or Scotland or the UK. It really is global. We have loved meeting people from all around the world and helping each other and learning from each other. It's a wonderful family. So we definitely encourage you to come.
And somebody said to me 5-6 years ago, you should join. And I kind of just went, okay, what's that? Not thinking I was an expert in anything. And it's not about being an expert. It's just about how you're using it. And it was the best decision ever made for my career and the number of people that I've met because of it and my network and everything. Best decision ever made in terms of education.
Totally agree. And that's just how we learn. I mean, that hashtag better together right now. There's my sister. Who is having a birthday tomorrow on May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So we can wish her an early happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But Sarah, tell us, so what are some platforms that you're using right now for distance learning, and how are you communicating with your students and actually teaching during this time?
So one of the main ones that we're using, and it gets used a lot across Scotland, we're using Teams. So we are extremely lucky that we have a national platform in Scotland called Glow. I know Lanny that was on the other week was talking about their hub, and it's very similar to what they have in Wales. So nationally, we have access to Microsoft products, Office 365, as well as sorry, in the background, I'll have children appearing at some point too, probably. So we have access to Office 365 and Google Classroom as well across Scotland. And our local authority is using 365. So we're communicating to our pupils mainly through Teams, and we're using a variety of ways to run our lessons. We have some of the features that we have that are in Teams we don't have. So we don't have the feature to record lessons, and we don't have private one-to-one chats. There's a lot of safeguarding, and as a teacher, it's quite nice to know that safeguarding has been done at a national level, and it's something that we then don't have to worry about. We know that that's been looked after, and it's hard because we know there's things available, but there's a reason why these things are done a certain way, and all our pupils then have access to the same tools. So I'm mainly setting assignments through Teams. We also are using Wakelet for lesson outlines, and maybe if we've got a few activities that we want them to do, we're sharing them through Wakelet, and we're using Flipgrid as well. So in our department particularly, we are uploading a lot of pre-recorded lessons to Flipgrid. We very much believe this idea of asynchronous learning. So pupils can't necessarily all join when we want them to join. So if we can have something pre-recorded, they can join when it's suitable for them in their household. So Teams is the main one that we're using. And I get messages all day, every day from teachers in the school saying, help us with our Teams. But it's great to hear that they're using it as well and they're finding it beneficial.
How are you doing your videos? Are you recording them in Teams and putting it into Stream, or how are you getting their videos in Teams?
Well, that was kind of a workaround. We don't have Stream enabled within Glow yet. Fingers crossed it will come eventually. So because we don't have recording, we can't have the Stream accessed. So what I'm using is a lot of the resources we already had, a lot of the PowerPoints that I already had, they're being altered, tweaked, taking slides from one presentation to another, and then using PowerPoint screen recorder, PowerPoint slide recorder to add audio, and then exporting that as a video. And then the video gets uploaded to Flipgrid so that it's not sitting in the team and kind of clogging up the team and slowing down the team. Put them on Flipgrid and then just share a link out to the kids in the assignment. And so far, it's been working really, really well. Really, really well. And we're keeping our videos to 10 minutes max because they're on Flipgrid, which I think helps as well, because then they're not... I can't imagine listening to myself for half an hour talking over a PowerPoint, let alone having the kids doing it. They'll all be falling asleep.
I love that, though, especially because Immersive Reader isn't quite built into PowerPoint yet. And so, like my son doing PowerPoints, I have to make sure I'm there to help him and make sure he understands what it's saying. So having a teacher record themselves and sharing that is a huge benefit.
Yeah, and you can just then go on and explain some of the points. We have a lot of diagrams in there with science, and we can take them through the diagram. And with PowerPoint, with the screen recording in PowerPoint, I'm able to annotate over the top, so highlight keywords and circle key parts of the diagram as well, and then explain those bits to them. And then at the end, we usually have a couple of questions, and you can say to the kids as well in the video, pause the video, take some time, and do these questions. So it's a 10-minute video, but it's maybe a half an hour activity for them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that.
Okay, so Marie is like dropping Bunty news right here
What?
in this live video. Are you ready?
Okay,
She's
are we sitting
Clark-tastic.
down?
I mean, this is
I'm reading the
Clark-tastic.
side.
Yeah. Okay, so she's saying, hey guys, just letting you know, we are dropping this update now. Teams meetings generator within, she says, within Buncee. So it looks like you can set up your meeting within Buncee now. So from inside Buncee, you can create a Teams meeting. Oh my goodness, that's
What?
crazy.
It says, boom.
Are you serious, Marie? That's amazing. I'm so excited about this.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Set it up within your Buncee now as well.
Literally.
Literally.
That is Clark-tastic.
That's
Oh,
right.
wait. She's saying no, not that. Maybe we got it wrong.
Oh,
Did we get it right, Marie? She's going to tell us in just a minute.
she's
So
gonna tell
we're
us
going to have
exactly
some
what it is.
good Buncee Teams news for you in just a
She
minute.
has said, I've noticed quite a few comments in there, people saying about teams as well. We've got Andrew, he's Team MIE Scotland. And Lee, that I used to work beside, she's talking about they're using Teams a lot. She's in another school now and she's using Teams and loving it as well. So there's
Awesome.
a lot of love out there for it.
That is awesome. Yeah, she says within Buncee for sure.
wow.
Just during this chat,
Lots of
I'm
exciting
lost.
things coming out this week. I know Wakelet's got an announcement, Buncee's got an announcement. So lots and lots of great things coming. So that's super exciting.
Keeping
We're
up with
so
the
excited.
announcements is the biggest, is a job in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Sarah, we also want to know, have you had like a wow moment throughout this time that maybe like impacted you, maybe even a positive way, or not necessarily negative, but just something that really struck you during this time that has maybe changed your thinking about something?
There's a few things. So first of all, we all went kind of remote and obviously it was going to be a lot more digital. I had a lot of people saying, you'll be loving this. And I did say loving's not necessarily the word I would use for it. Struggling maybe, but I was in a very fortunate position. I had a lot of digital skills there already, but even with that, you still had to rethink, because normally the pupils were in an environment where you were there. They were all on the same devices. They were all together. You were in a room. So when they were doing a lot of stuff digitally before, it was much easier to manage. Suddenly they were at home on a device. You didn't know what device it was. You're trying to help them manage something. You've got 25 different chats going on. And I learned that I had to rethink how I had been doing things. We're all having to rethink, but I didn't think I was have to rethink as much as I probably am having to do it, and find much easier workflows within the digital environment that I had before. But we had also, with one of my classes, been doing live Kahoots just for fun, checking in with them. These students had their exams cancelled, and the day that they cancelled the exams, I was sitting with them and they were devastated, and so was Anne. I was gutted for them. So every week we'd been having one or two little live Kahoots, and I've got 2 students in that class. One student is shielding because of her mum, so they are not allowed out the house at all. And another student, both her parents were key workers. So she was in the house, 16 years old, in the house all day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. And they both sent me a message after the first Kahoot and said, thank you, it just breaks my day up a little bit. And you know, it was that made me go, it's not about learning, it's more about helping them through their days just now, because for them it's just as different as it is for us. And that was the moment that I kind of thought, this is definitely worth keeping doing. A bit of fun, bring a bit of fun to their day. And we chat about box sets, what we're having for lunch, we're sharing videos, and it's just the fun aspect of it more than anything.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm crying, silly.
Jenny's the crier of the two of us. Way to go, Sarah. You made her cry.
Oh, that's a good one. I made Jenny cry. Cheers.
I know. It is. And those are such important things we have to think about. You know, we don't know what's going on in their lives and what they're experiencing. So that's awesome that you're connecting with your students. And that way you said just that brightened their day. That's just
Yeah.
made such a difference.
Just made it a little bit less mundane, and that was good. And somebody different to chat to, because they're chatting on Snapchat and FaceTime and with their friends, but they might not be chatting with the people that they were in the class with all the time because they weren't that close as friends. So it's a different group of people that they then start chatting with when we have our Teams meetings. So yeah, that's probably my biggest wow moment that I've had so far.
Chris just said he played a Star Wars Kahoot today and only got 18 out of 30. So
that's not good. I wouldn't be telling anybody that, Chris.
And he's talking about his virtual hub, which I think he's going to share a little bit about that on Wednesday when he's on the show. So stay tuned for that.
And Lanny says Teams is definitely opening doors and bringing smiles. I know being a mom. I
love what he said there. Well, Skype removed classroom walls, Teams is opening doors. Lanny, you amaze me every day.
He has the best words.
Yeah.
He really does.
He does. Sarah, how do you think going forward, thinking about next year, what are your thoughts on how this will change things for you next year with your teaching, or how will you do things a little bit differently using some of the things you've learned?
I think as we move forward, I think things will be very, very different to what we know as the norm. I think you'll find teachers are probably less scared to give things a try in terms of digital. I think a lot of them have seen that it wasn't quite as scary as maybe they had thought it was. And it maybe doesn't take quite as long to learn a new skill as what they thought it did as well. So I'm hopeful that a lot of the skills that teachers have picked up will continue when they move back into the building. But I think longer term, school's going to be very different for us, particularly here in the UK. Pupils will be in on rotas. So I think we'll be doing a mixture after the summer of online remote learning and in person in the classroom learning, and moving that forward. So it'll be, I think the next task will be going, how do we combine the two? And I was thinking about that myself, thinking, well, if my kids are coming in and I can only have maybe 10 kids in the class, do the other 10 maybe have to sit in another room? So do a live stream from my classroom into the classroom next door and maybe have a double stream going on, just trying to think about how it's maybe going to work in the future. But I think it will be a mixture of online and in-person stuff with the pupils for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And it's just that's a weird question because you don't really know what the future holds and what it's going to look like. So just being prepared and learning all we can. And
I think if we can work just now to develop those skills, then when we get put back into that environment, it might seem less scary for us as well. And the pupils our pupils were very lucky. We had been using Teams for probably about a year beforehand in the school. In not every teacher in every department, but across most departments. And the kids were quite familiar. Before we broke off, we knew we were going to be breaking off that week and schools were going to close. And all the teachers I was saying to the kids, make sure you're on your team, make sure you know you can access it. And they kept going, oh, Mrs. Clark, I know, I've just been to mass and so-and-so's told me that as well. So the kids were quite familiar with it, which really, really has helped now that we've moved online.
One of our teachers just also mentioned that her second graders are rocking on Teams, but she also, Miss Blakely, she also told us the other day that she really enjoys teaching this way too. Like she enjoys, putting her lessons online through Teams. So I definitely think it's going to change, like you're saying, into more of a blended learning situation.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about flipped learning. I don't know if it'll be flipped. It maybe be a bit more blended. And I think pupils that maybe can't access as regularly, whether they're off long-term sick, then they can probably feel more part of the school now, because I think we know how to include them more if they're not in the class. So being able to make these lessons up and things and post them for them, I think that will be a big win as well.
Yeah. One of our other teachers, Miss Wardlaw, says we will all be textperts next year. Like you were saying, Sarah, it really does break down a lot of those barriers and fears that teachers have had. So I love that too.
And we've had time to learn these things. That's the biggest thing. teachers always say, I just need time. And it has given us a bit of time to it's been crazy busy set up as well. But I think we've had time to look at new things and get familiar with it. And that's helped.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the teachers in our school have been using the Microsoft Educator community. We've got 10 certified MIEs just in the last couple of weeks, which is great. And I've been making up little help videos as well, and we've been posting them on Flipgrid within our school, and we've been sharing YouTube playlists. Andrew Bailey's on the chat. He's got an excellent playlist as well, and it's all geared around within Glow as well. So we know what we can access in Scotland.
Yeah. And Andrew just says it's important that we keep those videos going, right? That we can keep it asynchronous learning. So I think that's a great tip.
Well, I think you said, like you said there, now they have the time. And I know that's one of the things that we would hear from our teachers when we would go in to do training with them. They're like, this is all great information. We just need more time. And so, and I don't know if it's, I mean, yes, we have a little more time right now, but I know, like Slee and I say, we're busier now than ever before. But, you know, the things are more in our face. And so we're realizing, oh, like she's using YouTube to put her videos up on and encouraging, like my son is in her class, so he's making YouTube videos. And so those are things that she probably never would have done before this. So
she actually says it's giving her the freedom to be creative. Like she's having the opportunity and time to go and do that. So
I know in our school, the science department have started using Minecraft more as well, and letting the kids being creative. So I saw today the Queen Anne Science Twitter posted out the kids had been building eco classrooms or eco houses in Minecraft. So they've been doing that. And I think the beauty of that is they've got the Minecraft education's free just now for everybody to use. But also the kids can do that if they're using it on their Xbox or if they're using it on their phone and it's accessible. Oh, there's that echoes back.
Uh-oh. We can't hear it, or I don't hear it. Well, Dawn says the announcements and chat are keeping primary pupils so engaged with their cherished teachers. So that's awesome too. Jenny and I love announcements. Sarah, do you use announcements in your team?
Yeah. I use the announcements. That's going to annoy me something terrible now. The announcements are there so that the kids can easily find the work that I'm setting. So I just did a wee video last week on announcements and how to do announcements, just to show teachers this makes it really stand out now. I know from my own son, once the work was posted and then all the kids started chatting, I can't find this, can you help me with this? What am I doing with this? Can somebody tell me where this is going? You kind of then lose where the work is. So the announcements makes it much easier because it's this big banner.
Well, and I think it's amazing too that Teams is improving, and we know that they have been working behind the scenes to, you know, update things and get things a little bit ahead of schedule since it's such a high demand right now. So it's just awesome to see all of the new things that are coming, like the raise the hand and the backgrounds and then the 3x3 grid. So I love listening and listening to us and, you know, as educators and making those changes. So that just really speaks to the power of that group and the educators behind the scenes with those programs. And of course, we're a little partial to Teams.
Well, yeah, and I'm hopeful that the 3x3 grid comes out to us soon. It's not arrived yet to us in Scotland. It's still coming over the pond, I think.
We don't have it either yet.
You don't have it either. Well, we have a team MIEE Scotland chat every Friday morning at 11. We call it. We're now calling it banter and butties because we all have a bacon roll when we're sitting having our chat, and we're hoping that maybe this Friday we'll have our 3x3 grid for our chats.
Amazing.
The excitement when backgrounds came, it was amazing.
Oh, I bet. I mean, Jenny and I played for a good 2 hours at night with the backgrounds. After you sent us the directions, it was like, we're done now. We're just going to do this for a while. We have 1 million comments. Oh my goodness, I'm loving all the comments too. Oh, let's see. Here we go. I've started making video lessons of sketching, rendering, and 3D drawing to help learners with tasks, and people seem to like it. They can pause the learning and to suit their pace. I just love, too, that teachers are making these videos. Like, I love video directions for students, but hearing their own teacher teach, I think is so powerful.
And Lee's a technology teacher, so craft design and technology. So a lot of hers will be demonstrating to the pupils how to do something. I always think with art teachers as well, you're trying to demonstrate how to do something. We also made a video up for our third years. They've not got to it yet. The video's sitting waiting to go out. But we set up an experiment for them where I filmed me doing the experiment in the kitchen, and then they're going to do the experiment themselves as well. So just making it a little bit more interesting, something practical that they can do at home.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay. Do you guys want me to share some of these? They're really good. Oh my goodness.
Sure.
This is the same thing, Sarah, that happened whenever I jumped into y'all's MIE. How do you say it? Your chat?
Y'all welcome.
You know I'm going to come back. You know what's going to happen because I jumped into your chat and I was like, this is the best Twitter chat I've ever been in. Like, it was so deep, so authentic. Like, teachers were sharing how they were doing. I mean, I loved how real it was because, a lot of times I'll jump into some Twitter chats and I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. And I get a few ideas, but it just felt real. Like, you could definitely tell all the teachers, and maybe it's because you have a universal platform, but you could definitely feel, the depth that teachers were diving into. So it was great. Okay, here we go. We have a few more. We have Kamal. Am I saying it right? I hope I'm saying it right. She says Minecraft and biology equals magic.
Magical.
Yes.
She's using it too. And then Lenny says teachers have more time to hack apps. Although I failed with my hack today, so that's
all right. We give it a try.
What did we say though? Failing was important because you learn what you can't do.
It's true.
You learn what you need to do.
It's true. Now I know there's no way I could do that.
Sarah loves the announcements.
Yes. And then let's see. Andrew says making the work clear is a key thing. And that's definitely, I agree.
I've learned a lot from Andrew. So we had a chat on our Scotland call, and we have set the general, on the back of the chat that we had with Andrew, we've now set in our team, the general channel is only posts from the teacher can be made in that one. So that's where all our tasks go. And I know some of the other teachers have made Laura Pedens on here as well. She's got like a playground channel, and we do Fun Friday channels and just ones where the kids can talk to each other, but it doesn't get in the way of those announcements and the learning tasks as well.
Love that.
I think that's probably one of the biggest tips we have for teachers when teachers come to us to learn about teams. We're like, make channels because you can really make them specific, and you, like you were saying, really customize each one to fit what they're needing to do in the classroom.
Yep.
Wakelet, I saw a great example today from a teacher that put up, they were using Wakelet for their whole lesson outline. So they had a video in there, they then had their instructions for them to do, they then had the task for the pupils to do, and it was all really laid out. And there's been loads of love for Sway as well, which I think people forget about Sway. And since we've gone remote, we've been using it more and more because you can add your videos. We're actually going to use it as a school for our transitions for the pupils coming up from primary 7, because we can easily share it in our bulletins to the parents. And they will have videos in them and tasks in them for them to do, and forms in them that the parents can fill out so we can get feedback. So we're loving Sway.
I love
Again.
that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Sway is a great tool.
Oh, you'll like this one, Sarah. Are you ready? Andrew says you have a bacon roll every week.
I do have a bacon roll every week. And do you know what? I only have a bacon roll every week on a Friday because my husband makes it, because Friday is Fat Friday in our house.
I like that.
Fat Friday, have a bacon roll, join the call, and now everybody else is bringing in bacon rolls. And last week he had to go and work and I didn't get my bacon roll.
Not cool.
So I'm hoping he's here this week to make my bacon roll.
That's awesome.
Oh, we have another comment here. We have a classroom channel and a playground channel to keep the chat away from the task. So that really seems to be definitely a good tip. Laura Ann has a compliment for you, Sarah. She says, I use Sway all the time. Thank you for introducing it to me.
Laura is one of the biology team members at Queen Anne. She's been amazing this year. Just has picked up every bit of tech that I've shown her and said, let me try it. let me try it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, we find a workaround, and she's thrown herself into it. She's
awesome.
young and enthusiastic.
I'd say she's Clark-tastic. Are you sure her last name's not Clark?
Not yet. We'll get her on board. She's an honorary Clark.
Well, Claire has a bacon roll envy, and Andrew once again says he wants a screenshot of you eating again. So there you go.
Yeah, we have screenshots of me eating a bacon roll.
Well, Sarah, do you have any last minute things you want to leave us with? Any, any thoughts or anything for anyone listening that you want to share?
No, I can't actually think. You never told me you were going to ask me this question.
Well, we have a question for you. How about that from a viewer?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you want to try this? Okay. Do you do all of your grading on teams or on a point scale? Or I guess, or on a point scale?
No, I don't do it. A lot of my grading's not done on teams. Sorry, I'm just saying good night to my husband. He's away at his bed. It's getting late. No, I don't. Some of the forms and things that we grade, and we had a chat about rubrics and thinking about using the rubrics for essays to score them that way. But a lot of the grading is not done through teams. I don't use it a lot just for the way that our questions are graded. It doesn't allow it to happen all the time. So I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about the grades yet. Maybe I'll have a look into that.
Yeah.
there's lots
Some of
of
our teachers. Go ahead, Jenny.
I'll say there's lots of options, and we love the insights where you can add insights. Miss Blakely, you might want to add that. We can show you to add the insights to the top tab, and it will actually show you the amount of time your students are on having conversations and when they were actually on. It's a really, really good way to look at the analytics of your activity on Teams.
The insights has been really, eye-opening in the team to see who is on. And as you said, you can see who's been on, you can see when they've been on, how long they've been on for, what they've done when they've been on there. One thing I'm learning from this is how important the data is, because you're not with the students all the time. So the data has to do the talking a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And gone on and had a look, and I think our S3 team that we had, it had about 90, maybe about 75, 80% of them active on the team regularly. So we can check engagement on the team. And then if there's maybe a pupil that's not active, we can then go to a guidance and say, this pupil's not been on at all. Can you maybe phone home and just check that they can access it? Is everything okay? And it maybe just opens up that communication to say, well, how can we help? Is there something that we need to do at our end to ensure that pupil can get access to it? Mm-hmm. So insights have been amazing.
They really are. I think it's my new favorite piece. And, we saw it at BET, but it did not have all the pieces that it has now. So Justin was sharing with us that they updated it, just a month ago?
Weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, to have the piece where you can see what students are doing at certain times within your team, just for distance learning. So, I thought
that's very much, I think, forefront from what some of the Teams people that I've spoken to, they've said Insights is something they're really working on to get more and more features in it, because they know how important it is for remote learning just now. So that's top of the list, I think. Mm-hmm. Which is good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up. I know it's getting late for you, Sarah, and we appreciate you being on with us extra long tonight because we've had a few hiccups and everything, and we know that you've been a trooper.
It's no problem at all.
May the 4th be with you for being a trooper.
May the 4th be with you too. Trooper. And also with you.
And let me share my screen real quick, because
while you do that, I definitely want to encourage people who are watching to check out the chat, because your MIE Scotland family, or I guess MIE UK people, are sharing some amazing tips and ideas on how to use rubrics and insights and all kinds of good, and some from our school as well are dropping in the chat great ideas. So definitely check that out.
You were saying with the chat that we have, the Wales Scotland MSFT Celt chat. We'll be back on Twitter. I can't remember the exact date, but that's going to be within the next fortnight again. So we'll have another one of them. So keep an eye on Twitter for that, and you can follow along. And there's so much learning. The guys are great at giving out ideas.
Well, we definitely want to join in.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
I sure can, and I just added it.
Okay, great.
Oh, that was the night. That was the night at Bet.
Yeah.
Too many beers night.
I think that was the night I was getting very, very sick.
That was in that was at the Microsoft store, right?
No,
Yes?
that was no, that wasn't that night.
This
that
was
was
at the restaurant at the hotel.
At the restaurant.
Oh yes. Yeah, this is when
at
Jenny
Vela.
started.
And I was like, I gotta go to bed.
Jenny made me leave early. She was like, I don't feel good, and then she lost her voice and got sick the next day. Like she was sick after that. From then on, I think she may have had COVID-19. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, you talk about met at Bet. That was drunk at Bet.
No, I was just very, very sick.
You weren't well that night at all. No, you weren't.
Oh, Lainey just says the chat is on May 14th.
May 14th.
Yeah, so coming up
10
soon.
days. Oh, no, that means we've got 10 days to fix it, Lanny. Right, okay. Let's get on it tomorrow.
Well, we are so excited to have you with us tonight, and it was definitely a Clark-tastic evening. So we are so fortunate to be to know you and to have you as a friend, and we look forward to many, many more collaborations with you and learning from you. And we hope that more people will connect with you. And we should have put your Twitter on here as well, so that people can find you on Twitter.
At SFM36.
Here, I'm going to type it in the comments.
And then
SFM36.
36, yeah.
SFM36. And then
I was when I joined.
And then on Wednesday, we're going to have James and Chris with us, and they are going to be sharing about how they're using Flipgrid and Minecraft and so many of other these great tools and teams as well. But two other amazing educators that we met at BET and are also from the UK. So we're so excited to have them join us on Wednesday evening for them. So look forward to that as well.
That'll be a good one. I have my coffee in the morning, my cup of tea in the morning, and join the Jenallee show.
Those are my favorite tweets that you said.
I love that. Well, we hope that you sleep well. May the 4th be with you, Sarah. And we thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we look forward to, like I said, many, many more times with you.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. It's been great. We'll do it again soon for sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.